Hey, what's up, my witches? It's me, Luna. And we are currently, as I shoot this, in the exit shadow of a Mercury retro from hell. And at 6 o'clock this morning, a huge oak tree came down across the road and took out the transformer near us. And we spent the morning watching them update the repair time and push it back by 2 hours every time it came up. And we still don't have internet. But you know what? I can still record a video. They can't stop me. So what I'm recording for you today is, hey, I'm the incredible shrinking woman. I have an unboxing, of course, for you. This is the Archeon or Archeon Tarot. I want to say Archeon because of archetype, but we shall see. This is a U.S. Games deck by Timothy Lantz, L-A-N-T-Z. Okay, we don't have a copyright date there. Artist Timothy Lantz. Now you get to watch me fumbling over words again. Has skillfully worn. Will I edit it out? Will I leave it in? You will find out. Okay, artist Timothy Lantz has skillfully woven together intriguing elements from mythology, mysticism, and dream imagery to create this hauntingly beautiful tarot deck. And that's what we've got there. Do we have a copyright date there? Yes, 2005, complete with 78 cards and instruction booklet. I have been looking at this deck since a little after 2005, but I just never went and got it until I went to Puff and Stuff. And was this one of the ones I got on sale? I think it was. They had a sale and I grabbed it. Okay, so here we go. Let's look at the book. Introduction. Symbolism. The practice of representing things by means of symbols or of attributing symbolic meanings or significance to objects, events, or relationships. 2, a system of symbols or representations. 3, a symbolic meaning or representation. 4, revelation or suggestion of intangible conditions or truths by artistic invention. 5, symbolism, the movement, theory, or practice of the late 19th century symbolists from dictionary.com. So then we go on. There's another quote from artcyclopedia.com. Had I lived in the late 19th century, I'd like to believe I would have been a symbolist. I'll never actually know, but I think I would have felt at home among those artists and innovators. Much of what I do in the way of artistic endeavor has a symbolist quality to it, and perhaps nothing more so than this. So now I'm going to back up and read that quote. Classic exit shadow shit. All right, here we go. Symbolism, late 19th century. Symbolism is a 19th century movement in which art became infused with a spooky mysticism. All that late 19th century opium den stuff, Neptunian stuff. It was a continuation of the Romantic tradition, which included such artists as Caspar David Friedrich and John Henry Fuseli. Anticipating Freud and Jung. Laugh, please laugh. The symbolists mined mythology and dream imagery for a visual language of the soul. The leading symbolists included Gustave Moreau, Odilon Redon, and Pierre Puvis de Chavannes. All right. More philosophy than an actual style of art, they influenced the contemporary Art Nouveau movement and Les Nabis. I don't know who Les Nabis are. I know who the Fauves were. The movement was also a major influence on some of the expressionists, especially through the work of Edvard Munch and Franz von Stuck. Okay, so back to this. Begun in the late stages of October 2003, this project was not only my first endeavor with creating a tarot deck, but it was also something of a personal journey. Each of the 78 images in the Archeon Tarot relies heavily on the collection of symbols that inhabit my mind. It is a curious mixture of traditional and non-traditional imagery from varied sources, thrown into the blender of my subconscious. I love that. There will be things that you recognize, cultural and social conventions, but their interpretations may not always be what you would expect. The name Archeon Tarot springs from several sources. Archons were regents of ancient Athens whose jurisdiction covered civil affairs. The word anarchy dates from a time when strife and chaos prevented archons from being appointed by the Athenians. Archeon also relates to archaeology. An archaeologist sifts through layers of the past to discover meaning. Those who consult the Archeon tarot sift through the layers of imagery in the cards, thus finding a way to harvest order and meaning from chaotic or seemingly unrelated events of life. Finally, eons were considered to be emanations sent forth by God or embodiments of divine attributes. Consider the Archeon tarot a window into the mythology of one man's world, or at least how he imagines his world to be. Structure of the Archeon tarot. The first 22 cards of the Archeon tarot are collectively called the major arcana. The remaining 56 are the minor. Majors represent characters and themes, and the minors are blah, blah, blah. Many readers rely exclusively on the major arcana when seeking the advice of tarot. For this reason, I've placed a greater emphasis on these cards in this text. I fully encourage you, however, to explore the possibilities of including the minor arcana in your readings. Doing so can often provide a much deeper and more satisfying experience. I don't know these days that anyone goes strictly with the majors. I have, I believe, only one deck, or no, two. I think how Yarovsky explained tarot to his cat, and then the White Witches tarot. I think those are both just majors only. And, you know, it pretty much is the norm now that more attention is paid in description of the majors than the minors. And, you know, this makes sense. Why? Because the majors represent major themes. They represent spiritual themes and rites of passage and phases of life and things that really, really resonate and move you in some way, while the minors represent the little details of everyday life, you know, the mundane. So, of course, we're going to delve more into the big spiritual things than the minors. Okay, so each of the majors, each of the majors has a little quote in front of it, and then a description, and then it says the lovers represents, well, I'm just looking at the lovers card, the lovers inverted represents, so we have upright and reverse, and then for the suits, we do have a little quote. I mean, it's not really a quote, it's just an italicized thing. Like the majors, the death card has a quote from J.K. Rowling. Salt. Anyway. And they are, you know, attributed quotes, but these are just phrases like the Ace of Cups says, affairs of the heart lead to intrigue at the masquerade. Five of Cups, the cup of sorrows, spills its tears upon the ground. I like that. And then we have represents and inverted represent. It's kind of redundant that we've got, you know, Five of Cups. Then it says Five of Cups represents. Five of Cups inverted represents. You know, do we really need to repeat the name of the card when it's really big right above that? At any road. Let's go to the back. How to read the Archeon tarot. We have a basic Celtic cross. And that is that. Regular old tuck box, which will get the tape treatment. Let's zoom in. You know, I'm starting to think, as a vocalist, you know, I am well aware of the necessity of warming up. But I never, you know, before you sing, but I never think about warming up before I talk. And I get on these videos and it's like I'm tripping all over the place. Maybe I should start warming up. Anyway, here we have a face card. A facing card is what I call it. That can serve as a blocking card. And we just have the name of the deck. Here is the back. The back's really nice. There's these wheels, you know, concentric wheels, and you see the symbols of the zodiac coming around here. I like the color palette. Okay, now we have about the artist, I think. Beautifully rendered by artist Timothy Lance, Archeon Tarot integrates art and iconography from the varied worlds of mythology, mysticism, and dream imagery to create a visual language of the soul. Deriving from several sources, including archaeology, Archeon Tarot helps the reader sift through the layers of meaning and interpretations of life through the tarot reading. The term eons refers to the divine emanations sent forth by God as the attributes of mind, reason, power, truth, and life. Okay. Archeon, I'm trying to attribute those to like the elements or the senses or, mind and reason, power, truth and life. Interesting. Archons were the regents of civil and cultural affairs in ancient Athens. The companion booklet integrates words of wisdom from great minds like Twain and Tolstoy with fresh interpretations of the major and minor arcana. Archeon Tarot allows the reader to explore the paths connecting the spiritual subconscious with real events and decisions. All right. So here's the Fool. We have a big border. I usually don't talk about borders because they don't fuss me one way or another, But this one is really hugely noticeable. How much more would I have liked an image that fills up the entire card? Because it's a very interesting image. Got like a little mask here. You see looks like the moon in the background. These kind of things hanging down. The person has a jester's hat and they're holding like a little, the jingle stick of the jester. I'm not sure what this figure is down here. Looks like another mask. And he looks like, she, I see breasts, sort of bending over backwards with one knee up. So we look like we're about to take a giant step forward or a leap off the edge. And we have this same kind of black and white border inside this border, inside this border. Too much border. Here's the Magician. So this does look like a photographic deck. That certainly looks like a photograph that's been arted on top of. And we have a planet in the background again. So you can see these sort of wheels repeated here. Very interesting painterly style of just colors and shades and shadows and stuff. But we don't see the Magician. I can't tell what this is here. Nope, can't tell. And we don't see him. He's not holding anything. We don't see the symbols of the elements. Does this look like an image of a magician? No, it looks like an image of a very intense guy, just kind of looking, High Priestess. Okay, the image from the front. So now this one, I can kind of see the High Priestess. She's standing there. She's got this glowing moon between her hands. Sorry, that was my stomach. I hope you couldn't hear it. And just in case you didn't, I'm here to tell you. Anyhow, again, we see these wheels in the background. So we're constantly reminded of the cycles and phases and, the ever-turning wheels. Here's the Empress, close up. Again, I really can see that the face is photographic, and then we've had things placed on top. So would we consider this a collage deck? I'm not sure. I don't know what these are either. Are they bees? Let's find out. All right. The Empress, all right, the quote, "What a strange illusion it is to suppose that beauty is goodness." Ooh. The Empress is the overseer of the heart, and the boon of her companionship often yields rich rewards. She inspires creativity with her beauty and nurtures accomplishment with her insight. Those in her favor are secure in her love and often able to achieve greatness. Hidden behind the smile of the Empress, though, and she's not smiling here, there also lies a quiet sadness, for she knows that beauty may sometimes be a curse. Ooh! Bullseye! Fucking bullseye, man. I could do a lecture right now. For some, beauty is not something to be appreciated, but is instead the object of possession, or envy, or jealousy, But we do not really mention what's in the image, and that's what I was looking for. The keywords: beauty, creativity, pleasure, success, luxury, and stagnation, poverty, selfishness, powerlessness, ignorance they're pretty standard keywords. I wish that the things in the image here were mentioned. And I wish they were bigger. Okay, the Emperor. He just looks like a stone dude. Wow. Now, I have to say, though, that this shadowiness is very much in line with them talking about the subconscious and, these deep symbols and stuff. So I shan't judge just yet. We'll wait till we do a reading. By the way, stick around. I will test drive it. Here's the Hierophant. And again, in the image, would I recognize it without the title? No. The Lovers. Would I recognize that? Yes. I can't tell what this is in the background. It looks like a bird. Oh, she's got wings. That's what I'm seeing. Very shadowy, slippery, very slippery images. And again, that really is in line with the nature of the subconscious, things that you can just almost get your hand on, like dreams. Here's the Chariot. Wow, look at the horses and look at her. The driver is female. I don't know what this is. Again, it would be helpful to have these things mentioned. Here's Strength. I mean, I see hands here, but I can't. Oh, the head is dropped forward, I guess. Very interesting. So much would be helped if the images were just bigger. And I mean, even just big to this border would be great. Certainly it's going to be a deck that I will edge. There's the Hermit. Again, he's so shadowy. He's holding a lamp, but there's no light coming from it. Here's the Wheel of Fortune. That's recognizable as a wheel. And Justice. This is the first one that I go, that's the Justice card. This is the first one that is absolutely recognizable. I mean, the Fool, I would say, too, with the Jester's hat. But the blindfold, the sword, the scale, those are what make justice justice. Here's the Hanged Man. He looks like a mummy. Okay. I'm not sure what that is. Odin, Hugin and Munin. The two ravens there. Here's Death. Ooh. That is also recognizable. We have the scythe. We have the skull. There's like an animal, cow skull or horse skull there. Temperance. This could be mistaken for Strength, but we have a tiger on one side and a lamb on the other, and the wings also sort of indicate balance, temperance, blending one side and then the other. Here's the Devil. That's certainly recognizable. The Tower. Not so much. But again, you've got the names on there, and the name is going to jog your left brain into the symbols that you're used to, which the right brain's then going to interpret. So you're going to have the context, a familiar context in your mind. And then I guess it's up to the subconscious and the right brain to pick up on these very subtle symbols. Here's the Star. And the Moon. Ooh, I like this image. A lot of naked women. A lot of women in cards where you generally see men, like the Chariot, like the Fool. And all of the women so far, I think, have been naked. Not so the men. Why? So, his comment about beauty. Yeah. Every woman knows. Every woman that's been accused of being beautiful knows what kind of unwanted negative attention it can bring on her, knows what kind of assumptions go off in the minds of people observing beauty. A lot of times a beautiful woman, the men react like, I'm attracted. And I remember telling my daughter when she started to public school in 6th grade that boys were going to be attracted to her because she's incredibly beautiful. And they are going to then believe that you owe them something because they are attracted to you. And I said, you don't. And then women are going to assume that you're being beautiful on purpose and you're doing it in order to spite them. And oh my God, it's getting so much better. Anyway, here's the Moon. This is just me being grumpy about naked women and no naked men. Here's the Sun and naked again. Sun Mask, Judgment, another naked woman. And there's the World. Absolutely unrecognizable as the World card. I didn't expect to be grumpy about this deck. What the fuck? Here's the Ace of Cups. Ooh, I like this. I love that beautiful shiny silver cup. I feel like I'm seeing myself in it. Here's the 2. Naked woman and no man. How is this about a relationship? 3 of Cups. A naked woman. Does it look like people celebrating? No. 4 of Cups. Now we're going pippish. So I'm going to get grumpy again here. So if we're doing like pip cards, and he said, you know, he did say in the beginning, I haven't spent as much time on the minors. And so I was thinking, uh-oh, are they going to be pippish? But, okay, so we're pippish, which means we're not illustrating things, and then we throw naked women in there. Like they add nothing to the meaning of a card. Fuck. Here's the 5 of Cups. We do at least have a cup spilling and some upright. Here's the 6. I mean, the images as art are pleasing. I like them, but it's just not really given us much. Here's the 7. We have a Pegasus with a naked woman on it, but you can't see that there's anything in each of these cups. Here's the 8. Oh, looky. She's got a shawl on. Here's the 9. Wow. Oh, okay. We've got, I'm not sure what these little square piles are, but there's coins. It certainly looks like the cups are stacked up on wealth, which is interesting in cups. And here's the 10. Suddenly we have a Japanese woman. At least she's not naked. And the Herald of Cups is a naked woman, tits forward, nice nipples. So the pages are heralds. Then we have the Knight, who is a fully armored man. Then we have the Queen. Yay, she's wearing clothing. I don't have anything against nudity. I just want it to be equitable and purposeful. And then here's the King. So we just see, you know, people holding the suit symbol. Here's the Ace of Swords. The 2 of Swords, no blindfold. The 3. I have kind of a hint of a heart here. I mean, I really do think they would benefit from the images taking up the whole card. 4 of Swords, another naked woman. And here, is that her hand? It's got, and she must have something wrapped around. 5 of Swords, here's a man who looks like he doesn't have a shirt on. Hey. The 6, there is a boat. The 7, a raven holding like a, what looks like a pocket watch, or the moon on a chain. Interesting. And then we have the 8 of Swords, which is a woman all tied up, naked. And the 9, oh look, another naked woman. The 10. You know, the one positive that I'm holding on to here is just knowing that this is a deck from 2005 and how radically things have changed in that very short time period, although it was almost 20 years ago. Ouch. Herald of Swords, another naked woman. Knight of Swords. He's got a shirt. And oh, it's a woman, but she's got, I mean, it looks very feminine. I see, looks like long hair. I see a feminine looking face. But shirt and suspenders, I guess that must be chestal armor. I'm not sure with these, but I don't know. Then we have the Queen and the King. Ace of Pentacles. Lots and lots of wheels. Two of Pentacles, naked woman. 3. Not much to key on. This is not a beginner deck. 4 of Pentacles, a naked woman holding those coins. 5 of Pentacles, another naked woman. You know, there's nothing of the 5 of Pentacles in this image. She's sitting there, she's holding her knees, she's naked. There are 5 discs. She has wings. Where do I get the sense of out in the cold? Maybe it's because she's blue? The 6 of Pentacles, we merely have a pip card there. The 7 of Pentacles, another naked woman. The 8 of Pentacles, a shirtless man. The 9. And the 10. Here's the Herald. Looks male with clothing on. Here's the Knight. All we see really is the helmet. The Queen, almost naked, and the King. Looks like if she let her breath out all the way, that cloth would fall. Okay, Ace of Wands. The wand is interesting. 2 of Wands, naked woman. 3 of Wands. Horse. 4 of Wands. Yeah, okay, kind of a structure, something in the sky. 5 of Wands. And what is this image saying? And you know, we have a it looks like a person of color here, a man of color. We did see a Japanese woman in one thing, but other than that, it's like everybody's been white. And if they're female, 90% of them are naked. So 5 of Wands, where you see conflict, wands crossing, strife, competition. None of that here. The 6 of Wands. Victory card. Hey, she's wearing clothes. There's the 7. It's like a Japanese castle. Okay, fortress. I can get that. Safety, protection, kind of. 8 of Wands is another naked woman with no purpose. Why is she here? The 9 of Wands. There is most of a naked man. The 10. Look at the skulls on top of the wands. Here's the Herald, naked woman. Here's the Knight, armored man, the Queen, and the King. I'm glad I'm getting this deck now and not back then. And I'll tell you why. Because back then, we had not yet really gotten to the place of really seeing the disparity there. You know, the borderline misogyny. And here's my question. If it's okay to show naked women because, oh, the female form is beautiful, let's show naked women. Why is it not okay to show full nudity of a naked man? I don't get it. I don't get it. But let's give this deck a blessing because regardless, if you can get a reading out of it, it's a functional deck. But I have to say that I'm very disappointed. Never, ever, ever in a million years did I expect that. All right. By air and fire, may you be purified of all my negative stuff and charged. I would like to reach out to the author and ask how he feels about it now. Would you do it the same way? And looky, I have a new little bottle for my seawater because I had it in a little blue glass thing with a cork lid And maybe you can see bits of cork still floating in it. It was absolutely dissolving the cork. Yeah, I got to get the cork off of there. Anyway, now I have seawater all over my hands. By water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. And by the bell, may the spirit within you awaken. Let's give the book a little bit of a bless, too. I still have water in my hand. And then, guides and guardians, allies and ancestors. What thinkest thou? What do you think of this? Are you as grumpy as me? At any rate, thank you for being here. Thank you for my gifts. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to use them, and thank you in advance for helping me step aside from my negativity and my preconceived notions to use this deck as the tool it was intended to be and get a decent reading out of it. So mote it be. All right. No trepidation whatsoever about shuffling. This is a standard U.S. Games deck. The card stock is card stock. It fits in the hand quite easily. Should shuffle just as easily. Yep. All right. So, what do you think, you guys? Are you as grumpy as I am? It really is something, when I look at how much my own attitudes have changed because of what's going on globally and because of the new generations. I'm a Gen Xer, but, the millennials and Gen Z and everybody they are so through with the bullshit and they are calling it out all over the place. And please allow your mind to be changed. That's what I'm hanging my hat on for moving into this last phase of my life is please let me keep learning new things so that my brain doesn't calcify. I have strong opinions. I've always been very opinionated, but I like to think that as I've gotten older, I've become more flexible. And I mean, talk about strong opinions. Mercury conjuncting Pluto in Virgo, critical as hell. But the other thing is that Virgo is a mutable sign, so my mind is actually changeable. All right, so please, deck, give me a good reading for the collective here. What do we need to know? The Two of Pentacles falls out. All right, I'm going to put that here and take the rest off the top, doing our typical 6 card. The 2, Strength, and 9 of Wands. All right, so Strength in the middle is about endurance. I once read somewhere that the Magician and Strength kind of echo each other. The Magician is active strength in manipulation and, causing change, whereas this is feminine strength, which is taming, receiving, enfolding, and endurance. So that in the middle talks about, we are in this place of endurance, and 2 of Pentacles here, certainly with the economy up and down and all around globally, we are juggling resources financially, money-wise, real resources, by which I mean the food that is grown. There is plenty for everyone except for the fact that resources are passing through the hands of greedy men, and they are deciding who gets what, and they are using our food resources, talking to you, Vlad, as leverage to make people bow down to conquer. So the juggling of resources, the 9 of Wands talks about setting some firm boundaries, having to put up a wall and be behind it, and it's Wands, so it's a very dynamic thing. And let's go to the book. So dynamically, we are there in real time to say no, to set our boundaries. Okay. They've got the wands at the back, which is interesting. All right, Two of Pentacles. There's a little preface before each suit. The suit of Pentacles represents the body, the physical world. It is also associated with the element of earth. In the Archeon Tarot, the suit often indicates a more masculine perspective than in the traditional tarot. And yet, we have a naked woman. Really? God. All right. Two of Pentacles. The juggler of worlds keeps the universe in motion. Two of Pentacles represents ups and downs, turmoil, loss of balance, being pulled apart, juggling finances. Inverted, debt, being overwhelmed, mishandling funds, impulsiveness. Okay, so let's see, where would the masculinity of this suit show itself? That, you know, he's bringing masculinity into a traditionally feminine suit. I'm not going to look. I mean, the Four of Pentacles says her passion sets the world ablaze. Arf. All right. Strength. And we do have strength as number 8. Justice is 11, as you saw during the flip through. All right. Quote by Eleanor Roosevelt: "We gain strength and courage and confidence by each experience in which we really stop to look fear in the face. We must do that which we think we cannot." Steel is nothing without the power to wield it, and physical strength is nothing without the courage to employ it. When facing the beast, you must act with confidence. Strength of the body is fueled by strength of the mind. In times of crisis, perseverance will more likely determine victory than muscle. Okay, so now we are really looking, because he's talking about physical strength, but here, you know, he's contrasting this card with just physical strength, saying that strength of mind and perseverance, that's that endurance, is going to get us farther than just strength, you know, raw brute strength. Cowardice and fear are the enemies of resolve. Rage, the enemy of honor. Triumph may sometimes require the sword, but it will always require conviction. To face obstacles without determination is to welcome failure. So he's talking about, you know, that just strength of purpose, I guess, conviction, commitment, endurance. Strength represents courage, strength, power, health, conviction, determination, willpower. Inverted, weakness, insecurity, fear, doubt, illness, loss of control. And then we have the 9 of Wands. One by one, they aligned themselves with the stars. 9 of Wands represents order, discipline, a defensive attitude, guarding oneself. Inverted, defenseless, being caught off guard, refusal to compromise, unrealistic plans. So we have guardedness here, discipline, being defensive. But how does the one by one they aligned themselves with the stars, how does that in any way relate to the meaning of 9 of Wands that's given here? I can't see it. I can't see it. I'm sorry. Okay, let's keep going. At any rate, the guardedness, the need for boundaries, you know, the need to defend, the need to keep order amidst chaos. And the strength card says, you know, writ large, yes, we have the endurance, we have the ability to do this. Now we have the Hierophant and we have the 2 of Swords. All right. So I'm getting schooling here. 2 of Pentacles, the juggling of resources and the strength that is required of us to get through these times is really teaching us. There's a lot we can learn about ourselves spiritually when we go through trying times. Between strength and 9 of Wands here, we've got 2 of Swords. So here it's kind of like you step up with strength and courage and determination, but we go into this sort of defensive mode, and that can sort of devolve into that self-protection where we are not looking at things. Now, there's no blindfold on this card, but Two of Swords to me is that blindfold, and it can either mean, self-protect. That's what I've always said. You're in self-protect mode or denial mode. Don't want to know, don't want to look, or I don't want to look out there because I'm going deep. I'm going in here. Now let's read the things. Hierophant says there is surely a place of divinity in us, something that was before the elements and owes no homage unto the sun. Sir Thomas Browne. Seeking the release of the spiritual entity within, the Hierophant is forever shackled by the traditions and rituals of the past. Ooh, I like that. That sentence is a mouthful. Seeing the release of the spiritual entity within, the Hierophant is forever shackled by the traditions and rituals of the past. It just encapsulates my understanding of the Hierophant. It is spiritual knowledge, but it's also dogma. And like he says, the restrictions and the traditions, we have to do it this way. Why? Because it's the way we've always done it, and we don't question it. And that is saying that we can stop questioning ourselves too, with the Two of Swords. Hierophant, when it comes up, is a call to check your routines, check your rituals, check your dogma. Is it functioning for you? Or are you just kind of going, with this juggling of resources and calling on our strength and endurance? Are you just going to a place of familiarity so you don't have to think about it? Oh, there we go. So with all of this chaos, we can just really go into this place of don't want to think about it. Let's just do what's comfortable for us. All right. He knows his beliefs to be true, and he will share with you the teachings of divinity. Though often he speaks in parable, the truth of his words is unshakable if you have faith. Those unwilling or unable to see the Hierophant's truth may sometimes be caught up in the trappings of his faith. They do not see these trappings as tools of the divine, but as the very essence of divinity. This is a mistake that can lead to painful inquisitions. Yes, the magic is not in the trappings. It's window dressing, which is why, I've moved through several different spiritual disciplines. And with each, I tend to, with that Pluto Mercury thing, I tend to throw myself completely in, and go for it. And then I become the greatest cheerleader for these things. And then as time goes on, what happens is the essence sort of becomes me, I become the essence either way. And then the window dressing really shows itself as window dressing. And it's like, yeah, I don't need that anymore. I have the essence. But those window dressings can be, the trappings of the practice or the structure of the practice. So practice is important in spirituality. And it is important that we keep the practices that really do tune us up and get us somewhere. Okay, this says divine wisdom, spirituality, convention, orthodoxy, and tradition. The reversed is fanaticism, servitude, rejection of conventional means, and blind devotion. Really, the writing is good. I have to say that. Other than a couple, quirks. And then we have Two of Swords over here. All right. In her vigilance, the guardian remains steadfast and alone. Two of Swords represents stalemate, impasse, uncertainty, valor, restriction, delay, a guarded demeanor. Inverted, false friends, treachery, lies, a coerced decision, avoiding responsibility. Very interesting. I do want to work with this deck with the book to help internalize some of these additional nuanced meanings he's giving, because they are indeed in line with the traditional meanings, but there's just a little bit more, and I do like that. Then we have Seven of Swords at the bottom. Okay. Raven steals the sun and the moon. Okay, there's the sun, there's the moon. Now the image makes sense for the Seven of Swords, but you have to get to the book to really get that. All right. Seven of Swords represents cunning, trickery, theft, cheating, cleverness, covetous desire, and wishes. Inverted, apology, constructive criticism. How interesting. Appreciation, prudence, and circumspection. So, like upright, when you think about theft in terms of criticism, could be somebody's just picking at you, you know? It's just, I'm putting you down for no reason. But you invert this thief card and we can get constructive, we can get criticism that's not just picking. There's a purpose to it. It's going to do me a favor, doing something positive. But let's see here. So Hierophant and okay, I gotta focus here. Good luck, Luna. Hierophant and Two of Swords. So again, we can kind of devolve into this dogmatic, doing what makes me feel comfortable, doing my routines, which can still be, this can also talk about doing spiritual practice in order to ground you in times of chaos, in order to keep you strong and help you endure. Go to your spiritual practices. Boundaries here. This is calling us to be vigilant with everything that's going on around us so that we can acknowledge where our boundaries are being breached and hear when we are being called to put up a guardrail. And then Two of Swords becomes, to me, it feels like even more personally protective. It's not wands anymore, it's swords. So, hey, I'm really setting a hard boundary here. I'm going to go deeper internally into my spiritual practices. And let's go back to Seven of Swords. Okay, I'm going to take a hit on this. Because this, Seven of Swords talks about taking advantage, getting away with something, taking more than your share. And back to this Two of Pentacles and the juggling of resources here. This can, feed back to there where it's the institutions, which Hierophant also represents, these structures, political structures, institutions, government, universities, things like that, that they are taking more than their share. Now we have we get a court and we get the Sun. So, Herald of Swords. The herald appeared before them, a harbinger of doom. Herald of Swords represents a spy, upsetting news, penetrating insight, quick changes, and decisiveness. Inverted, gossip, attack, blackmail, cynicism, suspicion, unexpected problems, conspiracy. So, some untoward shit going on here. Spies and just not good actors. Okay, quick changes, decisiveness. And Sun over here. Okay, I hope you guys are typing furiously going, hey, Luna, here's what I see. Because I think I don't have much edge today. The Sun says, live in the sunshine, swim the sea, drink the wild air. And that's Ralph Waldo Emerson. Only the coldest of hearts can find fault with the world when the sun shines brightly in the sky. The warmth of her embrace reminds us that there is joy in life, and that even the smallest accomplishments are worthy of celebration. To revel in her glow is to acknowledge that sometimes even a single moment of happiness can be the greatest reward. There will be times when storm clouds seize the sky and hide the sun from view. It is during these times that we must be patient. Trust that when the tempest has passed, the sun will indeed return. The sun represents glory, happiness, success, rewards, fulfillment, prosperity. Inverted, minor victory, delayed success, achievement after struggle. So, this is a card of hope at the end, and it definitely feeds back, Leo cards, strengthen the sun. To that, there is indeed hope. But again, we really need to be vigilant. We need to keep our boundaries up. We need to, hold on. We need to be decisive. I'm going to go with decisiveness here. And go to our spiritual practices, our internal practices. It is so important now when we feel like, we're being taken advantage of, and all of this political wrangling while Rome burns, what can we do? We've got to keep ourselves shored up internally. We have to be constantly reminded of our endurance, of our internal strength. Set boundaries where we need to in terms of interacting with people in real time, in terms of what we consume, of media, of bad news. Keep on top of things that here's what I need to know and I don't need to wallow in it. But eventually the sun comes out. We can radiate ourselves into the world again. And it talks about being patient when the sun is covered. But, she comes out here. She's not covered. So that's the reading I get. It's kind of odd, kind of funky. But I really do love the keywords in this deck. I'm not down with all the naked women. It's just, tits and tits and more tits. But as a tool, the keywords are excellent. The writing is excellent. So give me your opinion. Let me know what you think. I know there's going to be a lot of ugh in the comments. Absolutely justified. But not to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think I'll use it for personal readings just to get some insight. And like I said, internalize some of these newer keywords. But will I be reaching for it for a live stream soon? Probably not, because it's going to be looking everything up. And didn't want to do that. Anyhow, thank you so much for hanging with me. If you enjoyed what you just watched here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe as well, and the notification so you will know when I drop videos, because sometimes it's a little unpredictable, and like when the power goes out today and we still don't have internet, so what the hell. Anyway, you may be getting this on a Tuesday instead of a Monday, whatever. Please comment down below. Let's engage. I will see you on another unboxing or a live stream soon. Till then, this is Luna. Blessed be.